So a few days ago, I got my iPad out, ready to write a script for the next movie review, which was supposed to be the movie Camp Rock, starring Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers. So I searched my TV, to kind of search across the apps, find out where it was streaming, and I got Camp Rock. But I also got a little extra gift. A little extra people also watched recommendation from my very smart TV. Turns out people who love Camp Rock for its very lazily imagined characters, formulaic plot, cookie cutter pop music, and general blandness also love this movie, Feel the Beat. Feel the Beat is a Netflix original.
And you know what that means.
Released in 2020 with Sophia Carson, who we know and love from Purple Hearts, and no one else.
What does that mean?
There's no one else in the movie that you've heard of. Just kidding, please don't yell at me. Feel the Beat tells the story of April, who, after failing to find success on Broadway, returns to her hometown and is reluctantly recruited to train a misfit group of young dancers for a big competition. And if you think it sounds bad and cliche, just you wait. I can't possibly convey to you how bad it is. It beat out Camp Rock today, if that tells you anything. So put on your shiny aluminum foil looking coats and let's talk about Feel the Beat. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Hey, do you like drinks? Do you like to stay hydrated? You've never had hydration like I make hydration, which is basically water, electrolytes, a squeeze of lime, and a little bit of pineapple, cucumber, or agua bonita, which you can only find, or at least I can only find, at Thrive Market. Here it is right here, guys. Oh my gosh. I've had a lot of cucumber drinks in my day, okay? I can't always taste the cucumber. This stuff is amazing, and it is yet another thing that I really can only find at Thrive Market, and even if I were to find it somewhere else, it would not be as cheap as Thrive Market. So thank you, Thrive Market, for sponsoring a portion of today's video, and let's talk about this. Thrive Market is an online membership-based grocery store that is on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everybody. They guarantee savings on every order. That is the thing, you guys. Healthy food is very expensive. I can walk my little butt into you-know-where and buy 5 things and spend like $100. Discovering Thrive Market has been a game changer for me. They have a couple different memberships. You can do like a month-to-month membership for $12 a month, or you can do what I do, which is get the whole 12-month membership, which averages out to be around $5 a month. $5 a month to get all delicious, healthy, organic, sustainable foods delivered right to your door. You don't have to go anywhere. Need I say more? You will absolutely make your $60 membership money back just in the amount you save. In fact, if you look for products that have the little Thrive Cash badge in the bottom left corner, you actually get Thrive Cash back for that purchase. Yeah. It's that simple. Another favorite feature I have with Thrive Market is that you can filter the catalog of products by diet or lifestyle. If you're vegan, vegetarian, paleo, keto, gluten-free, etc. It is a crime how much extra grocery delivery apps cost you. I was spending an embarrassing amount of money getting my groceries delivered just because I'm that desperate to not go anywhere and interact with people. So this switch was an absolute no-brainer for me. That coupled with the fact that everything is so delicious. This most recent order I got, I was a little bit naughty. Got a lot of snacks, okay?
I'm so bad, but at least I know I'm bad.
I got my staples like my milked oats oat milk that doesn't have any extra gross ingredients or sugar. I got my decaf cold brew, a rare commodity. Oh my gosh, the skinny dipped, what are they called? The brand is Skinny Dipped. They're like a peanut butter cup, but there's only 2 grams of sugar in the whole thing. I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh, I also got the Castile soap. It's either Dr. Bonner's or Dr. Bronner's pure liquid Castile soap. This was a recommendation from another YouTuber who also loves Thrive Market as much as me, and she said not only is the soap amazing for people, but she also cleans her tub with the lemon one. It's not drying, it's not gross, there's not a bunch of chemicals in it. If it comes from Thrive, you can trust it, basically. So guys, if you want to try out Thrive Market, what are you waiting for? Click the link in my description box or visit thrivemarket.com/Jaime French to get 30% off your first order and a free gift valued up to $60. Again, I will have the link in my description box and probably a pinned comment, and you get 30% off of your already very affordable order. Thank you so much, Thrive Market, for being such an awesome company, supporting my channel, and keeping me hydrated with your delicious agua bonita, and for sponsoring a portion of today's video. And now, back to the show. Hey kids, we're back. So Sophia Carson plays the main character April, who is described, according to the Netflix description, as a self-centered dancer who is, you guessed it, poor and getting evicted. As soon as an envelope slid under her door, Nick goes, "Eviction notice!" Predictable. Anywho, she dances her way over to it, and then heads out the door where she races against this other woman in the pouring rain for a taxi. Can you imagine trying to take a taxi from an older woman, or literally anyone else, let alone in the rain, after she lost her umbrella?
Thank you! This is my taxi. This is a matter of life and death.
So let's all high five each other for hating her character immediately. Ready? So she gets to her audition. She's auditioning for some sort of Broadway show. She totally kills it. Sophia Carson is very multi-talented. She makes it past the first cut, of course, when the lady in charge says,
Ruth Zimmer would like to take a look at you.
and guess who Ruth Zimmer is?
Oh, I'm soaked to the bone. That's horrid. Oh my God.
What kind of selfish girl would do that to Ruth Zimmer? She would.
So Ruth Zimmer is some sort of bigwig in the Broadway scene. Wikipedia calls her the sponsor. I don't know what any of that means, but she's important, and she vows, because of the taxi incident.
I will make sure that you are never hired for any show on Broadway, off Broadway, or off Broadway.
So April is obviously panicking, and in an attempt to dissuade Miss Zimmer from blacklisting her from Broadway, she accidentally pushes her off stage.
Chorus girl.
So as you guys can see, this movie is top tier realistic, especially the part where the purse falls off the stage like 5 minutes after she falls, but then as she's laying there, you can see her clutching her purse in her hand. Continuity. This would definitely happen, I feel like. A dancer who wanted to be on Broadway probably would grab a Broadway bigwig's hand and not let go until she tumbled off stage.
Just go with me.
So whenever she gets back to her apartment, her friend Deco informs her that one of the other dancers filmed the whole fiasco and posted it to YouTube. I guess they had a phone tucked in their leotard.
Baby girl, you are all over my feed. All over it.
Deco's got a fun laugh. So the video has like 30,000 views over the course of, I think it was 2 hours, uploaded by this YouTube channel called Broadway Dance Fails. And as a YouTuber, it was really fun to sort of see their portrayal of like the YouTube interface, the viewing experience. Like the other two recommended videos just killed me. First there was the Try Not to Laugh challenge uploaded by Diaper Dads.
Okay.
But then this one, this top 10, or what's it called? Top 10 people getting triggered by a channel called Triggered Out. I feel like the reason it's funny is because it's kind of accurate. I like that the thumbnail was just 3 angry people looking at the camera. Oh, to be a fly on the wall during that photo shoot. So as Ruth Zimmer promised, April's career is over. Her own agent won't even answer her phone calls.
Well, there's gotta be someone who isn't afraid of her.
No, honey. Everybody's afraid of her.
If everybody knows who this lady is and she's this bigwig in the Broadway scene, why didn't April know what she looked like? So they realize there's one guy, Welly Wong, who she thinks will give her a shot. But with no agent, her only chance to impress him is to take her like boombox that plays cassette tapes and her aluminum foil Xenon Girl of the 21st Century jacket and go dance in front of him as he's coming out of a building, which he doesn't see or hear because he has AirPods in. And then she dances herself into some lady's coffee. I too walked directly into street performers while carrying multiple coffees. Why would anyone watch where they were going? I like how the woman just walks off like, oh my god, I just spilled scalding coffee on this girl, but gotta run. Gotta get to my job at the gray coat store. I also really loved Welly Wong's conversation he was having on the phone as he was exiting the building. It just was very relevant to exactly what was happening at that moment.
Nicole, you're saying have auditions. I'm telling you I will. We're looking everywhere. We just haven't found our star yet.
What are the odds? He was looking for a star and instead he got a goof with whipped cream hair.
Oh my God.
Everyone loves hair cream almost as much as everyone loves toucan stubs.
Everybody needs toucan stubs.
So guys, Broadway's out. She has no choice but to go back to her hometown of New Hope, Wisconsin. I hope she got all her stuff out of that apartment because the sign on the door said locks have been changed. Anyway, her hometown is like the most hometowny hometown I've seen in a long time in a movie. April is super bummed to be there. She's like, Dad, I blew it. Such a failure.
You know what would make you feel better? Cheese.
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 Cheese makes me feel better. why I think I love this movie so much. Oh my God, she's actually eating a giant block of cheese. That makes my salivary glands uncomfortable. So she runs into this lady, Miss Barb, who I guess is her old dance coach or cheerleading coach. I guess it's her dance coach. And she invites April to come on by the studio, say hi to the students. And April's like, oh, I'm busy that day. My dad is sick.
Who's sick?
You can tell this was shot before the panty because Frank openly claims to be sick in a store and no one bats an eye that he's out in public anyway.
You know where the studio is.
So she goes to the studio and her old coach is so like over the top and over explaining and insufferable.
I know I only taught you for 8 years, 3 months, and 22 days before you ended up studying in Milwaukee for real, but...
That reminded me of that weird guy from Dude, Where's My Car?
You know, I've been in this cage for about 3 years, 5 months, and 17 days, but who's counting?
So, long story way too long, Miss Barb asks April to teach a class or 3 while she's in town and help her students prepare for this upcoming dance competition. A competition that has a unique category called
the teacher feature,
where the teacher gets to perform with the students. Imagine that. And April is as cold and uninterested as I want to be sometimes when people ask me to do anything.
Yeah, let me get back.
because
But of course, I would never show on my face, you know? But her character is she just has no care in the world about being an ice queen. I mean, truly so freaking mean to these adorable kids who are so excited to meet like this local celebrity who made it to Broadway.
How old were you when you started dancing?
She's deaf?
Can you imagine you meet a little deaf child and just audibly be like, she's deaf? How does she function in society? She's not exactly like me.
How does she dance on the beat?
So outside the dance studio, she runs into her ex-boyfriend, Nick. Yes. The girl returns to her hometown and runs into an old flame. Nick's little sisters, Sarah and Michelle, dance at Miss Barb's studio. So he's there. We find out April dumped him in a text message and broke his heart years prior because she's, again, super mean and unlikable. So obviously she has no interest in doing this dance competition until she finds out who the judges are.
And big Broadway guy, Willie Wang.
Welly Wong?
So she has a change of heart. She tells Miss Barb, like, look, I agree to do this on one condition.
We go all the way to Atlantic City.
So this drove me nuts because then they just immediately cut to the first round of the competition, like the qualifying, the whatever it's called. But they didn't show any, not that I like montages, but I wanted a montage or something to show, like, did April work with them? How much time has passed? Have they rehearsed it all? We'll never know. So before the New Hope girls go on, we get the utmost pleasure of watching the competing dance schools go on stage. The first group is pretty good. Dancing is painful, I guess. I guess it would be when your moves are that of a bird without flight feathers. If you thought that was weird, you ain't seen nothing yet. That was Tony Award worthy in comparison to the next group of children twerking, which was incredibly bothersome. I mean, cuties level bothersome for me personally. That's the creepy thing about movie scenes like this is you can't use the argument, well, oh, it's just a movie, it didn't really happen, because these little actresses actually did this. They had to get up on a stage and twerk in front of an entire camera crew. And this guy. And it doesn't serve any purpose to the plot, you know? It kind of makes me want to throw up.
Dance studio!
Way to steal my thunder. So it's finally time for Miss Barb's group, and of course they suck so bad. They pick their wedgies on stage. But I say they win because they are at least dressed like children. But no, they suck. But thankfully, there's the whole teacher feature thing. Remember?
teacher feature.
I was assuming, you know, April would be good enough to raise the overall score of the dance team. So she gets up there with the kids and she kills it, dude. She uses the children as props. She literally pummels the children. And they get 4th place, so they don't even get to move on to the next round.
You're an incredible dancer, Miss April. Flawless, you really are. But you're missing the whole point. It's not about you taking the spotlight.
Yeah, it's not about you using the children as literal punching bags so that you can take the spotlight in front of the dance moms. And this guy. Well, kids, we have to take a short break. And when we come back, a predictable plot twist. See you there.
The Dewey Dance 'Em All studio used a 10-year-old in the 8 and under category. They are disqualified. It means we're gonna go on to the next round!
Oh my god, I've never seen that in a movie before. Barb is so excited. She goes over to the cop car and grabs their thing and announces to the town that the Churners are
Back in the competition!
I I wish so badly that the cops had like tackled her to the ground like they did to the guy in the background of that one scene from Clyde with a Chance of Meatballs.
Go Churners!
Oh yeah, I guess their home team in New Hope, Wisconsin is called the Churners, as in they churn butter. But why not cheese?
Cheese.
And they say go Churners 800 times in this movie.
Go Churners! Go Churners! Go Churners! Go Churners! Go Churners! Go Churners! Go Churners!
So she starts working with the little girls and she's insanely, terribly mean.
You can't make a mistake in front of anyone. Ever. Today. Do I have to duct tape those to your face? I thought you could feel the beat. Go! Again. Thrilling. Smile. Grow a pair. Are you dancers? Focus. You're nothing. Got it? No talking. Push-ups.
What is the problem?
She has it out with this little girl, Sarah, who, again, is her ex-boyfriend Nick's little sister.
You know, how about you try teaching? Instead of leaving us clueless standing here with our wieners swinging in the breeze.
I think she might be lactose intolerant. It's always milk.
Cheese.
There's one little girl in particular named Ruby who April is extra mean to.
You literally have no idea what you're doing.
And she goes and cries in the bathroom. And I thought this was going to be a moment where April's character could redeem herself a little bit, show her compassionate side, but nope.
Am I really that bad?
Yeah.
Come on. So one day while out running really weird, April runs into Sarah in a field who is just jamming hard. A lot of interpretive dancing from children in this movie. And we find out the reason that she, resents and dislikes April so much is because, again, April dumped her older brother, left without saying goodbye to go live her life, and we also find out her mom died.
Before you left or before my mom died?
Sad, but cliche.
You left without even saying goodbye.
Sarah, people live their own lives.
Again, can any of you imagine this? You're in a serious relationship with a guy who has little siblings that love you and they don't have a mommy, and you just leave without saying goodbye and you don't give them a hug and you be mean. I am Team Sarah all the way and her witty comeback.
Wieners swinging in the breeze.
So April's got to whip these little girls into shape. We need to see them improving over the course of a few minutes, so you know what that means. We're gonna need a montage.
And with every shot, show a little improvement. To show it all would take too long. That's called a montage. Girl, we want a montage.
By the way, Ruby from earlier, she quit. The grown adult bullied her out of class. This movie's awful. So one day during rehearsal, the entire roof falls off. Where else have we seen that, guys? There's a pipe burst, there's a leak. Long story short, they can't dance there anymore. So the roof caves in and the girls just run away to the park and the parents and teachers all follow them. And this was such a weird scene. It was really long. The kids are all interpretive dancing in the mud while the grown-ups just smile and laugh. I would have had so much anxiety. How'd you guys get your umbrellas so fast? So guys, it's time for the finals. One of the many finals that they have to get through to make it to the finals, Nick is backstage helping his little sisters get ready.
Smoke, fire.
Oh, come on, Nick. Have you not seen that little girl's YouTube video from a few years ago? Everyone has seen it. She went on Ellen.
No, 20 or longer.
Yeah, 20 seconds or longer. In walks Barb with some iceless iced mochas for the children.
Ice mocha with an extra shot of espresso.
First of all, why is this the second Sophia Carson movie I've seen with iceless iced coffee? Purple Hearts, anyone? Second of all, Barb, don't give the children special juice before competing. This isn't Toddlers and Tiaras, and your students are not Honey Boo Boo.
My special juice is gonna help me well.
Stop it.
Well, the special juice does in fact help, I guess, because the kids kill it with their newfound skills from April, and they make it through the county finals, the district finals, the regional finals, and the state finals, where things are heating up betwixt the dance dads.
Your girls wouldn't know a triple time step if our girls were dancing it on their sad little faces.
Your daughter's grown back moms don't even reach 90 degrees.
Your daughter has no turnout.
The whole thing with dads in this movie was kind of cute. I kept finding myself being like, oh, the dads are involved. That's so adorable and hilarious. But then I remembered that should be a given. The dad being involved in their kid's life is bare minimum. But they They got me. This movie is weird. They paint the moms out to either be absent or unsupportive or drunk. And they paint the dads out to be these really involved, supportive, adorable parents. Kind of odd, especially because a woman directed this. So anyway, they placed second at the state finals, even though April actually fell during her performance. She lost focus during her performance because right before they went on stage, some kids found the video of her pushing that lady off the stage. But regardless, they make it through the final round and they qualify for nationals. They're going to nationals.
Going to nationals!
We're going to nationals.
Meanwhile, April and Nick are rehearsing in the barn.
Make sure that you...
When Miss Barb and one of the other dance moms show up.
We have a big problem.
So they realize right just now that they have no money to get the girls to Atlantic City where the national competition is being held, and they also have no money for costumes. So April calls Deco, remember Deco with the fun laugh, who I guess he didn't have anything going on. He didn't have anything going on in New York, so he comes into town to solve the costume issue.
I'm here!
And then I literally felt like 5 seconds passed between Deco getting there and Miss Barb saying,
We raised the money. Atlantic City.
But how? Did I miss something? I watched it back multiple times. They never show how they raised the money. All they show is the girls counting change, and they have this little like thermometer chart showing that they need $5,000. But the $5,000 didn't come from these change jars. Where's the money even from? Where is this money even from? And why is the entire town seemingly involved in this little team, this little dance team competing? I don't know if they're selling the clothes. I don't know how they did it. Someone explain, please, but only 1 or 2 people. So the barn is now the dance studio, remember, because the roof fell in. So they have to rehearse on the dirty, dirty floor. But it's all good because they somehow turned the barn into this beautiful venue complete with an entire wall of vintage mirrors, fairy lights everywhere, and antique furniture. I don't know how they did it so quickly.
I don't know.
Anyway, they're trying to nail this move called the Star Lift. They literally plucked it straight from Dirty Dancing's plot. And it's supposed to be 2 of the little kids doing it. This little kid, Dickie, and I can't remember the little girl's name, but they can't do it, probably because they're toddlers. So instead, April asks Sarah and this kid, RJ, to basically teach the little kids how it's done. Well, mind you, Sarah has a big old crush on RJ, okay? RJ's on the football team. He's not a dancer, so I can't remember why he's there. Like, why all the football boys are there. Not important. Anyway, what is important is that they do the Star Lift move, and I thought that they were gonna fall, right? That's the predictable thing to happen. But instead they hit us with a curveball. And by curveball, I mean a boob cutlet.
Don't lose it. Don't. Wait a minute. Who are you?
I would have never foreseen a boob thing.
That fall out of your sandwich?
Why are you even there? So she runs away. April runs weird after her. And she's like, I bet I know where she is. I bet she's in that field where she likes to dance weird.
Sarah!
Sarah! Did you want this booby thing? I low-key wish those things existed. When I was that age, it would have saved me a ton of humiliation and possibly even a surgery that I now regret. Anywho, guys, it's time for the national competition and the big climax when we come back. Don't miss it. What are you guys doing? Why are you dancing in slow motion down an escalator in the middle of a public place? You're weird. Oh, hey, Ruby. Yeah, so I forgot to tell you guys, Ruby actually comes back, not to dance, of course, but instead to be the teacher's helper.
I need so much help. You can help me?
They run into Marissa Jarrett Winokur, who was in Hairspray, and she was in Never Been Kissed. Remember, she was the girl that was like, what have you wanted for like ever, but I mean
never ever thought would happen.
Anyway, she's one of the judges for the competition, and she has some sort of weird beef with Deco.
How's that for beating you over the head?
She stole his shoes or something. It was kind of funny. Not relevant to the plot at all, but still funny.
I was just getting warmed up.
So they do their performances, okay? The little kids go on first, and then there's the teacher feature dance. The teacher feature dance was pretty good.
I remember the first time we met face to face.
A far cry from this. So they make it to the final round. How many rounds are there?
We're in the final round!
Willy Wonka comes up and he's like, hey, April, can I steal you away for a moment?
I have a proposition for you.
Yes, of course.
In the dressing room, everybody, come on.
This couldn't have worked out more perfectly, right?
Yeah, so April talked to Willy Wonka and he offered her a part in his show. So she has to leave right then and there that very second. And I don't understand why Willy Wong would leave when he is a judge for the competition and the other half is happening the next day.
April, hey, where are you going? I'm headed back to New York.
So once again, she was gonna leave everyone without saying goodbye.
April's character is the worst known to man. She's selfish and mean, no, we do not stand. She pummels small children and steals their spotlight. She steals people's taxis, no, she's not polite. If you thought it was bad when she pushed that old lady or dumped Nick with a text, that was hella shady. Well, you're in for a treat. If you thought that was bad, this chick couldn't even say goodbye to her dad. Now everyone's heartbroken. Nick is just floored. He screams all her calls and her pick is censored. So she calls up her dad and is like, Dad, am I the worst? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, that was quite an outburst. Then she has a change of heart and she leaves Mr. Wong and goes back to Wisconsin where she belongs. And I guess this all happened over the course of like 12 hours, right? Because the final round was scheduled for the next day.
What about finals? They're tomorrow.
So she comes back again with the help of Deco. This is the second trip he's made to Wisconsin. Why doesn't Deco have a life?
You owe me gas money.
To Atlantic City.
They pull up to the competition at the exact second that the MC says,
Final countdown to the New Hope Dance Studio.
but uh-oh, the kids are missing.
Ruby, find them.
Go, Ruby. Now's your chance to redeem yourself for sucking at everything.
I just want to be good at something.
Good thing too, because it's the
We are in our final countdown.
What's she doing here?
So April gives this very emotional, almost kind apology speech.
When I first met you, all I saw were flaws. I want you to know how proud I am of all of you.
When did she learn sign language?
What's wrong with you?
I love hearing the MC in the background like, you guys have 1 minute to get on stage or you're disqualified. Why didn't they show him? They couldn't afford to pay an actor to be the MC, so they had to do post-production voiceovers.
You will be disqualified.
That's not an insult. I need to stop insulting movies for not having a big budget. My budget's only $9. Anyway, the girls are mad at her for leaving the day before, but they're also confused at why she's being nice to them all of a sudden.
How come you're not yelling at us?
So she's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll go ahead and be super mean again.
I'm disgusted by all this whimpering self-pity.
So they do their performances, Little Dicky break dances. The one girl smacks her own butt, better than picking a wedgie, I guess. The dads dance in the audience, and Nick and April get back together, I guess. Sorry, that actually didn't even make any sense. Sorry to do this in a text, just turn around. Huh? Yeah, it just cuts immediately to the future where April is performing in Willy Wonka's show, and we don't get to see the results of the competition. Barb kind of alludes to them losing in this weirdly close-up FaceTime call between her and April.
We gotta beat the Royaltons next year. Well, I will get them all together and call you when I have them.
But why wouldn't they show it? Even if they didn't win, the whole movie's leading up to this competition. Why wouldn't they show it?
Wow! What a killer routine!
So the movie ends with the New Hope dance team showing up to New York City to surprise April on her opening night of her Willy Wonka show. What's the Willy Wonka show is called Whirly Girl. Anyway, they show up to surprise her and then they have a dance party out in an alley of downtown New York City. Are you guys gonna let the cars through? Are you just gonna, you're gonna pull a James Corden?
Let's get loud. Wow.
Oh my gosh, MJK is there? Everyone in the cast joins in the fun, except, of course, Ruth What's-Her-Fuzz, Ruth Zimmer. Legend has it she's still laying on the floor, clutching her purse next to the stage, waiting for help.
Chorus girl.
Last but not least, the other part of the story that I kind of wanted to see an ending to was the whole the boob cutlet thing. I thought maybe Sarah would like run into RJ again and he'd be like, hey, it's no big deal, man. Like, I wear one of those in my jock. Or say something to make her feel better. And they would like hang out. They really just left Sarah hanging. But doesn't matter. That is it. Truly one of the worst films I've seen in a long time. The only budget information I could find on IMDb just has the gross worldwide income of $207,000. I don't know, how does that work with movies being made for Netflix? How do they get their return on investment? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's read some reviews because they are entertaining. This review is made by an IMDb user named Darth Steele. Our lead character is a self-centered opportunist from the first scene through the last. It's impossible to root for her because she's a soulless shrew all the way through with absolutely zero character development. And a dance double does all of her real dancing. That wasn't Sophia Carson. Here's another one. Kids left out and made to feel bad. Awful film. Terrible ending. One poor kid is made to feel awful and it was never corrected. Ending should have been about the kids winning or being awarded for their great effort. Right. The ending only rewards the terrible person. Sarah gets humiliated with her booby thing. Ruby got kicked out for sucking.
Am I really that bad?
Yeah.
And April wins everything and gets everything she wanted. Cool. Okay, that's it for me today. I have to go shower because I feel gross after watching this. Be sure to join us over on Patreon if you want to see behind the scenes footage from today's green screen shoot. Follow my other social accounts for other types of fun content. See you guys in the next one. Peace out. Marissa Jarrett Whittaker, or MJK, not to be confused with MGK. A lot of people mix them up. So the title of this movie is Feel the Beat. I'm guessing because of that one little girl, the deaf little girl, and they made a point to focus on her in the beginning.
How does she dance on the beat?
I feel the vibrations.
So I assumed, naturally, that she would be a prominent character in the movie or have some sort of extra significance, but she's really not ever mentioned again, except for when they want to tell her that she still sucks.
I thought you could feel the beat. So why are you always behind?
They fudged the bucket on that one.
You're doing really good. I like your moves. I'll join you, but I'm stuck. April? Miss Barb? Can you help me? Oh my God. I'm sick. Oh my God. I'm sick.